Alright, this is my third take. I enjoy talking about this stuff too much, and I'm trying to keep this video down to like 7 or 8 minutes. So far I've had like a 12-minute video and an 18-minute video. So I'm going to try to run through this a little bit faster. A lot of people were asking for a little more detail on this build, the peripherals that come with it, and just more information in general. So if you're just looking for the specs, it is on the sell site, and if you are wanting a little bit more, by all means, let me show you. So, going in here real quick, you've got the main build here. The main build has been done very, very carefully with a mixture of aesthetics and performance in mind. Now, there is a tempered glass front on this. I've taken it off. Sorry, I'm trying to knock on this without dropping it. But yeah, this is a glass cover here. And there's your attachments for adhering the glass cover to the front. So you do need to be careful because it is tempered glass. It's not the cheap plexiglass that's super susceptible to being scratched. But I've taken that off because the reflection was really bad and you couldn't see inside the case. All right, so going real quick here. Here we've got an Asus Wi-Fi antenna. This thing gives you really, really good Wi-Fi connection that's almost on par if you just had this thing hooked up via just your regular Ethernet cable. 2 fans here, and that is exhausting all your hot air. There is a mesh cover here to help with dust. That's mostly when the system is sleeping or turned off, so dust is not coming into the unit, as these fans, again, are blowing outwards. But hot air rises, so as cool air comes into the case, it's going to be blown outside of the case through these top 2 fans. This is an up-here water cooler with a Deadpool emblem logo on it, and they're good. It's, again, something that I did to try to save a little bit of money on the build. And by save money, whenever I say that, I'm not talking about going cheap with bad parts. I'm talking about not necessarily using name brand parts like EVGA for the water cooler, but it is an all-in-one water cooler. It's closed loop, so you're not going to have to worry about filling this thing up ever. So that's on your CPU, which the CPU is a 2600, a Ryzen 5, 2600, 4.0 gigahertz CPU, and that thing pairs perfectly with this 2060 GeForce RTX, and I'll get into that in a second here. You've got 2 sticks of RAM here running in dual channel, and those are both 8 gigabyte sticks, and those 8 gigabyte sticks are clocked in at 3000 megahertz. That's 3000 megahertz. So good speed on those. I did not opt for the slower speed, and of course those are RGB as well, so matching the aesthetic of the build. And here is the radiator that goes to the up here water cooler. Behind this radiator is another fan, and you got another fan down here. So you've got 2 fans that are pulling in cool air through the slot in the top and the slot on the bottom of the front bezel. And that's bringing cool air into your system, once again, exhausting it through the back. It's also feeding cool air to your GeForce RTX 2060. Originally, I had an 8 gigabyte, it was, forgive me, I'm Sapphire Radeon RX 580, 8 gigabyte, and it was a DDR5. But the problem is that I just was not getting the kind of max frames per second that I was looking for with my games. And so even though this one is a 6 gigabyte model, it is so much faster that I'm maxing out every game at 1080p. This card's better. This card is definitely better. So, yep, I switched out the RX 580 for this 2060, and I've never looked back. All the cables aftermarket, going to our power supply, which is actually housed in this compartment down here. The motherboard is a MSI Performance B450 Gaming Plus Mobo. They're great motherboards for a good price, and yeah, I love them. I've been using them a lot. MSI has not done me wrong. I use a lot of different makes and models, but I keep defaulting back to MSI, and maybe I've just had good luck with them, but they've treated me right thus far. Your power supply is in here. It's an EVGA 500 watt. It's a 3-year warranty. It's a white opposed to like the bronze, silver, or gold. But again, I've never had any issues with those, the white power supplies, and so I just keep using them. They work really well. And you've got some space down here. There you can see it. And so cool air is coming in through the bottom, the back, the front, feeding this power supply and ejecting the warm air out the back, helping not to contaminate this area with more hot air. A lot of people will set up their power supplies to suck in air from within here and push it out the back, but then you're contaminating the air going to the power supply, which is just warming it up and helping to suck more air out of this area, which means that you've got 2 fans pushing in and then 3 fans sucking out. So I find this to be a better setup. I get cooler temps with this setup. 2 pops in here, maximum effort. Again, this is a 1080p max effort gaming and work machine. You can use this for all your home stuff and then for gaming, and you're going to get max settings at 1080p with this machine. This is the MSI Dragon logo. I went ahead and threw it on there because the red just sort of matched the whole aesthetic. It is a metal sticker. So for your hard drives, what I've done is you've got a solid state back behind the panel back here. Sorry for the visuals. And then that's a solid state 1 terabyte. Underneath of here, there's 2 bays, and I've got 1 physical hard drive inside of here, another terabyte at 7,200 rotations per minute, and I think it's 64 megabyte cache. And then I actually have another one here. You can see the clean aesthetic for the front of this case. This is with magnets, so you can actually take this off and put it around the side if you'd like. This whole case is metal, so it'll stick anywhere. The reason I did that is kitchen type magnets like on the back of this right now will not damage your hard drive in any way, shape, or form. It takes a much more powerful magnet, but this gives you another terabyte for a total of 3 terabytes of hard drive space, and this way you can just unplug it right out of the top and take it to a friend's house, plug it in, share saves, pictures, images, games, whatever. But now you have some portability for that 3rd terabyte. And this thing's fast enough that you can install Steam games on there without any issues or any problems whatsoever. I've been running games off this thing, no problem. I think I was just playing Crackdown 3 on there. Max settings, no issues, quick load times. So that's your basic case in all of its features. I've got some red LEDs that are in here. I think I've got some more set up over in here, which you can barely see. These are aftermarket fans. They're cool and quiet, and they've got the red LED as well. You could change some of this stuff, so you could change the colors, but again, for this case, seeing as how it's doing that Deadpool theme, the colors match perfectly. I actually have some aftermarket cables, sorry for the lighting, with a red and black aesthetic. Aftermarket power cord, aftermarket braided cables. These go to the Asus Wi-Fi adapter. And then what I've done for simplicity, and this does come with this build, you actually have a powered USB hub here. I believe it's 4.0. Please don't quote me on that. I'm not trying to... I believe it's 4.0. I know for a fact it's 3.0, but I think it may be even newer, where it has even faster speeds on it. And I went ahead and used this thing, and this means it's got a power button here. So if you hit that power button, it'll actually turn off all your peripherals. And if you turn it on, as I just did, your peripherals come back on again. So I like that functionality. This is an optics, it's an MSI monitor, and it is an optics MAG 27C. That just popped up because I had killed power to my peripherals, and I just brought the power back onto them. It's a 1440 hertz monitor, 1 millisecond, excuse me, refresh rate, response time. It is curved, has a gentle curve to it, and then adjustable stand all the way, and it has a gaming mode on it as well. This thing's awesome. I added the red carbon fiber to the top, or I'm sorry, to this area here, into the bottom stand. This monitor is fantastic. It has good color reproduction for not necessarily being a, oh man, my brain's shorting out here. It's a TN panel. So TN panels are quick, but they're not always the best color reproduction. This thing has good color, especially if you tweak it slightly to your desired settings for what colors you want and how you want it to pop. It's got great color reproduction. So I wouldn't say you want to use it necessarily for Photoshop, but it's good. All right, moving on. Right here we've got our HyperX keyboard. It is a mechanical keyboard. It is cherry keys on it. It is RGB, and it has a gaming mode as well. This is a Luxcom's mouse pad, big mouse pad, RGB lighting down here. And this is one of my favorite mice, braided cord. It is a Razer Basilisk, and this thing has good specs. It's nice because you can change your DPS right here. I love this mouse wheel. You can actually adjust right here for resistance for the mouse wheel. So for gaming, you can have it where it's really smooth and quick, or where it takes a little bit more if you're like clicking through weapons or whatever. And then it has a clutch, right? I'll just turn it. It has a clutch right there. And you can set that up for whatever macro you want. Again, I've done some light customization. You've got Wade Wilson back there. That's underneath the keyboard. I went ahead and put a Deadpool. It's just a slap bracelet. It was cheap, and I adhered that with magnets, so it could be taken off. Added the carbon fiber, added the logo. It also comes with a PS4 controller. This is an aftermarket controller, so that Deadpool that's on there is part of the surface of the PS4 controller. It is not some aftermarket sticker or whatever. It's actually part of the controller. This is one of my favorite card series. Geeking out a little bit here. If you've never heard of Greg and Tim Hildenbrandt, these guys, I don't know if their name's on there. There it is. Greg and Tim Hildenbrandt. These guys did an amazing, I think it was 94 Marvel card series. Absolutely incredible. All their cards look like oil paintings. It's amazing. Sorry, again, just geeking out a little bit here. Speakers do not come with it. I'm sorry, they do not. If you ever need some really good desktop speakers, I cannot recommend high enough these Edifier. These are the Luna Eclipse. These things are incredible. They've got a nice mid-speaker tweeter. And then on the side here, I know it's hard to see, but there's actually a slot in there. And that slot is a bass radiator. So you actually get some pretty decent bass. It's not overpowering. It's a pretty clean bass signature, but strong. What does come with it is these K2 Pros. Now look, these are nothing special. I'm not going to try to tell you they're anything special. They just come with it so that you're ready to go right after you purchase this. They give you nice simulated surround sound. I was playing some Far Cry 5, and these things did a great job. They've got that red and black aesthetic to go with the build, and they're comfortable. They work. They've got a boom mic on there. These are mine that I use with, I have an amp and a DAC. It's an amp DAC combo, just a little FX audio one. And these suckers are incredible if you're looking for good headphones to use. These are the ATH M50Xs, and these things are awesome. I mean, they're really just headphones by Audio-Technica, but if you're looking for really good sound, I love these things for closed back headphones. If you're looking for open back headphones, I'd say just get some Hi-Fimans. My brain's failing me right now. I can't think of the Hi-Fimans that I use, but yeah, that's pretty much it. If you'd rather have an Xbox controller instead of the PS4 controller, this is just an aftermarket rubber skin that's on here. It looks nice. It's fine. I could even put a little super glue there because this thing tends to like to slip a little bit where the home button gets covered up slightly. But I've used it and it works fine. I actually prefer it with this grip on because it's got some nice texturing on there and it's more comfortable than the base model. But you can see what I mean there. It doesn't fully cover the home screen, but it does go all the way around. So if you'd rather have that instead of a PS4 controller, that's fine. No worries. I can live either way with the other one. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You're getting the keyboard, you're getting the mouse pad, you're getting the monitor, you're getting the PS4 controller, Razer Basilisk, you're getting the K2 Pros, you're getting the whole build here with all that's included in it. And, you know, if you want to ask for this maximum effort Deadpool that's sitting here slicing into a chimichanga, that's fine. I threw a little button there for the dial on this. I tend to geek out on these kinds of builds. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of what you're looking at. Did not intend for this to be a 15-minute video, but I give up. I'll post it up and you can click through it if you want and learn more about this build. So thanks so much for your time. Thanks for looking. I really appreciate it. And as always, if you want me to do a custom build for you, I've done now a Hulk build, a Captain America build. This was my personal Deadpool build for fun, and I'm open for whatever. So just let me know. Thanks again for looking, and have fun gaming. Take care. Bye-bye.